Oh.
What's up, guys?
Hey guys, welcome back.
We're in the middle of catching up here on The West Wing for you.
Exactly. By the time you're watching this, if you're a YouTube subscriber, we did a week of 4 episodes. This is number 3 of those 4 to let the people on Patreon get a little bit ahead. A lot of you've been asking on YouTube that we pick up the pace.
Yeah.
We absolutely cannot do that in terms of editing. It's just it's way too time consuming.
Full-time jobs.
Right. We're very busy young lads at this point. But we can obviously record faster than that. So for the people on Patreon, you can see 4 out.
Yeah.
From where we are on YouTube. Absolutely. So that's what this is. So if you're watching this on Patreon right now, you have jumped way ahead of the people who are not paying over on YouTube.
And if you YouTubers want to hop in on that, make sure you click the link down below. Yep. Come join our little page. And we are not only doing West Wing over here, we're also doing a Patreon exclusive. We're watching Succession over there.
Yep, we are, as of recording right now, we are 6 episodes into Season 1 on Succession, and we're loving it. We're getting close to the end of Season 1 and ready to roll into Season 2.
If you like The West Wing, I think you like Succession. I mean, there's lots of characters that you see on Succession that have been on The West Wing in small roles, so give it a shot. Back over on YouTube, if you guys wouldn't mind, please hit the like button, leave us a comment, and please, please, please subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely. We are loving the comments. We're loving all the interaction. Subscribing would really help us out an awful lot.
So close to a milestone over there, guys.
Please, please, please. We would super appreciate it. Actually, by the time you're seeing this, we probably would have crossed the milestone, but that's not the last one.
But still, yeah.
So,
many milestones to come.
Many milestones to come, hopefully. So please subscribe. We would really, really appreciate that.
Yes, please.
We do want to welcome some new Patreon subscribers over the last couple of days, so that's the upside down. Kyle Hill, Michael Manville, Jake Potrebic, Taylor, Sean Johnson, and Yana. Welcome and thank you. We really, really do appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Yeah, thank you for joining our little community here. Remember, if you're going to watch any of our shows over on Patreon, you're going to need your own source material. We cannot show any audio or video from the show on Patreon for full-length reactions. It's an infringement of copyright, and we will be shut down before it even gets all the way uploaded.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. So you'll need to have your own source material. We're watching on HBO Max. West Wing's a very popular show on Blu-ray and DVD. Yep. You can watch along with that as well, but you'll need to be able to watch it on your own device. I think that's about it. As far as the show goes, we left off on a really heavy episode.
Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment. We were pretty clear about where we came down on it, and for those of you who agree or disagree, we totally understand. We had some people who live outside the United States who commented that they don't have capital punishment where they live, so it's kind of an alien concept to them.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's a biggie here.
It's a biggie here because it used to be a lot more popular than it is.
It's kind of going away.
The majority of Americans favored capital punishment really heavily even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now that's kind of shifted now that there's been a lot of exposés on what it actually entails.
Yeah.
And the Freedom Project, I believe it's called, has found that there are a number of people on death row and people have been executed who, in fact, with the advent of DNA and better policing, have found that we've killed innocent people in the United States.
And there's plenty, like you said, exposés and movies about that. So
right, absolutely. So awareness is growing in the U.S., so popularity with capital punishment is waning.
It still has its fans, unfortunately.
Big fans. The whole state of Texas seems to think it's a celebration.
No shots to Texas.
No shots to Texas, but we don't live in Texas, so that's not something we grew up with. Is the prevalence of capital punishment?
Did we have capital punishment here?
We still have it. It doesn't get used very much, if at all. Like the Carr brothers are on death row. They lost their appeal on death row.
That's right. Yeah.
If you're curious about the Carr brothers in Kansas, look them up.
Just give it a Google. It's pretty messed up.
It's monstrous.
Yeah.
I have no love for those guys or anything that happens to them.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while. It's been a couple decades, but they're still on death row. But I don't know if we're still really doing executions. But at any rate, we've wandered here. It was a really, really good show that covered all the angles of capital punishment.
I thought that was my favorite episode of the series.
Yeah, it was Joe's favorite episode. It was among mine so far. It wasn't my favorite. I still like the Christmas episode better.
Yeah.
But that was an exceptional episode of television.
They're all exceptional. You could close your eyes.
It's a masterclass in how to put a TV show together every week. Absolutely. Everyone's doing introductions of themselves. Isn't that interesting? The whole recap.
Is everybody going to be in this?
I'm your host, CJ. Let's play our game.
It's essentially they're choosing to introduce all the characters right now, like as if people were just getting on the show at this point or something.
Oh yeah,
maybe
it was the main characters too. I thought
it was all the main characters just introduced themselves. Yeah.
Oh, it's Josh.
Josh.
For what? Drunk driving, resisting arrest, and I think disorderly conduct.
Oh, please don't be Leo.
God, you freaked me out there for a second. Same thing.
Doesn't drink, Josh. They know it's that Roberto Mendoza.
So they just grabbed Roberto Mendoza, didn't realize they grabbed the nominee for the Supreme Court and arrested him?
I'll let you know what's going on.
Well, they said he doesn't drink, but he got.
I hope so.
Do you think You think it's like a race thing?
I don't know. It's possible. It happens around us.
Say he doesn't drink. I
Yeah.
don't know. He might. I mean, people say that, and they end up having
Right.
a drink.
People who don't drink sometimes go out and drink that one time, and that's all
Sure.
it takes.
Yeah.
What was he pulled over for?
Driving while being Hispanic.
Yep. That's
Okay. Well,
that's a real thing that we have happen here.
another heavy episode then.
Yeah.
He refused the breathalyzer.
Because he's a crazy man who's out to ruin my life. That's what he's out to do.
Oh, he's arrested because he refused to take the breathalyzer. That's an automatic admission of guilt on DUIs.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
You don't have to take a breathalyzer though, don't you? Or
You can refuse, but they assume if you refuse, you're drunk. They consider it the same. It's stupid. They consider it the same thing.
That's stupid.
Start by telling us about a typical day at the White House.
Oh,
Well, the first thing
Ain't
I'll
no
tell
such
you
thing.
is there's no such thing.
Yeah.
The president answering a question he shouldn't have, a dentist appointment, or me being stupid.
Have a thing?
I have a dentist appointment at noon.
What's wrong?
Oh, is this non-linear?
I'm
Oh.
experiencing some.
Oh, this is told in flashback, isn't it?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is the story
Josh's
he's telling.
flashback. Yeah.
What? That's cool.
You and your colleagues in the Republican Party
No.
were as
Yes,
invested
all of them,
in
yeah.
solving the problems associated with poverty as you.
Should call it all Republicans racist.
Yeah.
Are you calling me a racist, Wooden shot back?
Of course not, she answered wisely.
If the shoe fits,
Aw,
respond with the
Dad.
shoe.
Yeah.
Is that the best she could do?
Of her many transgressions, Mr. President, let's not worry about she resorted to cliche.
That was a cliche. Yeah.
Now, the president had just signed off on $700
bad.
million in new money for education.
It's funny that 700 million is not even a drop in the hat on the federal budget now.
Yeah. Trillions now.
Almost $2 trillion.
Holy
Yeah.
God Almighty.
Will he ask her to apologize?
An apology would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Are you there yet?
We're lost. You're lost.
We're not lost.
Oh, on the way to
We're from
Mendoza.
Connecticut. What
Yeah.
do we want for Wesley?
And the day was about to get worse. Because I was about to step to the plate.
I'm really curious what he did.
Wait, what did he do that was so bad?
I know.
I can't believe he did that, Leo.
Debbie.
How
CCH
You're
pounder.
pissed
How
at
could
us.
he publicly demand that I apologize without hearing my side of the story?
Your role, first and foremost, is to serve the president.
These two good actors going at it
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
I wonder if John Spencer won any Emmys from the show.
I'm not sure if he did or not.
Deserves it.
He's so good.
Great.
No, housing and development has
Deputy's
always
been
been a
trying to
punching
provoke
bag
you
for
for months.
racism.
Yeah.
When
Always.
you give in to him, you surrender the high ground.
Why are you talking like that?
I had root canal.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. I was just amused.
Just some other things you can do with yourself.
Going to a press briefing looking like bowling.
Yeah, you're just having a little fun.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Who? Me.
No way.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna screw it
Oh,
up.
so this is where he gets in trouble.
I get hot stuff?
Hostile. What you doing at Foggy Bottom?
I just wanted to see if I could make you say Foggy Bottom.
Toby?
You're not going to
Foggy
do this.
bottom.
To the briefing?
You're not going to do this.
You guys have been coddled.
Oh, no.
Your girlfriend, and I believe that my powers of debate can rise to meet the Socratic
Oh
wonder
my
that is
God.
the White House press corps.
He just trash talked Danny.
Guy has a Pulitzer Prize. Yeah.
When was the last time the president had a cigarette?
Mike, you sure you want your one question to be that stupid?
He has no plan to address inflation specifically.
Annie, we have a secret inflation plan.
Oh, he got sarcastic.
They're gonna take that so literal.
Well, it's gonna be in print, so you can't tell.
Yeah.
Look!
Yeah.
We found it.
Let's get this done and get out of here.
Officer Peter, we're in a certain amount of trouble tonight, and the only thing I've got going for me is that you're in more trouble than we are.
Sir, please state your business here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
My business is to tell you to unlock the cell and give me Mendoza.
There's Toby. Yeah. He doesn't even have to speak.
Nah.
You
Yeah.
get that?
Don't you
That's
look like
gonna
an
be
idiot.
Governor of Connecticut.
Oh.
That's a start. Tell me what you think I should do right now.
Go into your office and come up with a secret plan to fight inflation.
You know what it's gonna take for me to fix this?
I'm gonna fix this.
No, you're not. You are not ever allowed in my press room again.
The only thing that can make my day worse is if Roberto Mendoza got involved.
Oh my God.
I thought this was later that he got arrested.
Oh, it
Because
is.
Sam was on the phone.
Yeah,
It's just
night.
got
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
He said the president was wrong to make Secretary O'Leary apologize.
The second hardest job in the White House belongs to a 21-year-old kid named Charlie Young.
Oh, Charlie.
He's what's called
Yeah.
the president's body man. And it is his job to wake the president up in the morning. And
Have you been to sleep yet?
Since when?
Since yesterday.
Good one, Helen.
It's time
Oh,
for
Yeah, he's got to stay up as much as the president or more so.
Yeah, that's right. Charlie, caffeine, nicotine, whatever you got to do, man.
I mean, what in the name of everything holy could you want right now?
Sir, I need you to dig in now. It wasn't a nightmare. You really are the president.
Mr. President.
Charlie, are you aware you're committing a federal crime right
now? Actually.
My chances with the feds, Mr. President.
How do you function at that level while 3 hours of sleep?
No, sir.
Good.
We experienced a few public relations, what's the word?
Hiccups.
Incidents in the few hours you were away last night.
CJ had emergency root canal surgery at noon, and so was unable to brief.
Who did?
I did.
Oh, God.
Secret plan to fight inflation.
I have a secret plan to fight inflation.
No. Was suggested in the press room that you did.
Who?
To me.
It was suggested.
Who told them?
If anyone asks you, you quit smoking years ago, and the cigarette you bummed on Air Force One was for a friend.
Oh my God.
Get out.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah. Was it?
Still not entirely convinced he hadn't been drinking.
Judge Mendoza has chronic persistent hepatitis, which is a non-progressive form of liver inflammation.
Wow.
If he'd had enough to drink to blow a 0.1 on the blood alcohol, he'd be dead right now.
Oh man.
Wow. I'd be like,
Oops.
we're taking your job.
No
I'd be like,
kidding.
you were not going to be a police officer.
Right?
They pulled me over because I look like my name is Roberto Mendoza.
Yeah.
And I'm coming to rob your house.
That's the point. Any other person, they'd be buried.
Yeah.
They get a DUI.
I'm under arrest, Toby.
Not anymore. Let's go.
You pull all the strings you want, Toby, but not for me. My kid was in the car, Toby. They patted me down and they handcuffed me in front of my 9-year-old boy. So America just got another pissed off guy with dark skin.
There's nothing about this that doesn't stink.
Yeah.
If it were me, I'd want to extract vengeance. So I want to spend some time in a dark room alone. So that I didn't have to face my wife and my son. And nothing about it that wouldn't be better if you were Supreme Court Justice.
Guy in your job. Do you know missile codes?
Oh my God.
That sort of thing?
You idiot, no.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Oh, Sam.
What a dip. You know what? Yeah.
The Center Communications Director knows all the missile codes.
Yeah.
But in this room, you're going to apologize to Mr. Mendoza. And then you're going to get in your squad car, you're going to follow us, and you're going to apologize to his son.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
Yes, it is.
We sincerely apologize for our mistake.
Take it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
How dare a brown guy drive through their little podunk town?
It's in Connecticut? Yeah, I mean, like...
Connecticut's pretty white.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Killing me, Judge. You're absolutely...
Connecticut's pretty white. That's funny.
I mean, it's the richest per capita state in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I don't know if if you ever really let that one out, but
no, probably not.
But yeah, Connecticut isn't going to have like a homeless population or a big minority population because it's just old money. Old white money is most of Connecticut. That's
interesting. They had to be Connecticut because, like, when you think like racist states, you think like the South.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right.
Rich people can be just as racist.
Yeah, I mean
it's
right. I mean, I've been to Boston. It's
oh
you know
my God,
yeah. It's not. It is racism is not relegated to just the South.
Very much so. The East Coast is rough sometimes.
Sure, and we're not casting dispersions on anybody.
No.
We live in the Midwest. Yeah. We're surrounded by plenty of racists.
The right answer is that racism is.
It's everywhere, right? It's everywhere, But that's obviously that's what happened there, right? The guy wasn't drunk. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He couldn't possibly be under the influence, but he was pulled over and checked anyway.
For being Hispanic.
Yeah, for being Hispanic.
And it's
absolutely.
ridiculous.
In a town that probably doesn't see a lot of minorities driving through.
No.
So that stereotyping.
And it's interesting that they clocked him at night too. Or he might have been there all day.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know when it actually happened.
Yeah. I do think there's something admirable. So obviously, like they called it unprofessional that he condemned the president's words for making her apologize. I get it.
Right.
You know, is it unprofessional? Maybe slightly because they're trying to like paint this picture.
Right.
But at the same time, I do think that there's something admirable in somebody being steadfast in their ways.
100%.
And calling out racism because it should be called out. It should be eradicated.
Right. No. One, everything he said was right, but two, it was unprofessional because
they're trying to save face.
His job at this point is to shut up and put on a friendly face to get himself on the Supreme Court because he's got to get through confirmation hearings with Republicans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before he'll ever set foot on the bench, so he can't be kicking up crap, at all.
I think today it would be a little more acceptable because there's there's always been an issue, but like it's been brought to the forefront in recent years, and I think that it'd be a little more acceptable. But still, I mean, like,
right. You're right.
You got to do what the president says.
Sure.
Unfortunately,
we also live in a world where now people are finally realizing that when one of these people gets on the Supreme Court, they're there for life. That's always been the case.
Yeah.
But now people, now when we look at, recent rulings, we're just being like, oh, that has serious repercussions. When you put a 40-year-old or 30-something-year-old person on Supreme Court, they're going to be making the most important decisions in terms of laws for decades. Like it's a big mess when you get it wrong, and we get it wrong a lot. Yeah.
Look at Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, exactly. That's the tip of the iceberg.
What is happening?
Right.
It's scary, and it's definitely
Citizens United. Which totally screwed up how we pay for politics now.
I know it's like a cliche, and people think it doesn't matter, but it does matter that we vote.
Oh yeah, completely.
Vote, and
who's president determines who's on the court, determines the laws that we have to all live with. It's all we always just think of Congress versus the president, right, in terms of getting stuff done. But the Supreme Court is, that third pillar. It's just as big a role.
Yeah.
It was nice, and we were kind of looking at this as we were going through, that after such a dark and heavy episode...
they broke the change of pace a little bit.
Yeah, they and I'm sure it was that structurally by design that we had one with a lot more lighter fare. It was still a serious episode. We still had the Mendoza stuff that was serious.
Yeah, I wonder if when he was writing it, he was like, okay, so we had these 3 episodes before this, and now we're tackling racism.
Right. Let's throw a little comedy.
We got to do something different.
Right. Yeah. Having the CJ Josh stuff going on in there was a lot of lighter fun. Yeah. It was a mess that got created, but it wasn't like life and death kind of mess.
No, because we've seen messes in the past episodes, and it's just been like very tense, very stressful.
Right.
This episode was a stressful situation, but at the same time, it was just like funny.
It was funny. Yeah, this was a funnier episode.
Yeah, they kind of fumbled the bag a couple times.
Right. Now it kind of makes you wonder, okay, now what's the next one going to be? We did a really, really heavy episode, and now we did a bit of a light. Still a really good dramatic episode, but with a lot of lighter moments. What's coming next? Is it right? Yeah. Is Sorkin going to turn around and punch us in the face again?
Yeah. So this was the first nonlinear episode too, right?
Yeah. I don't think they've had one that's been told out of sequence at all.
That was really cool.
It was really well structured. There were moments where I was like, okay, is this before the Mendoza arrest? Is this after? I was, it was like
by design probably.
Right.
Kind of like a reveal,
Right. Well, kind of like when Sam said you have a problem with Mendoza, I was like, I thought this was later in the day. He was on the phone, like it just happened 30 minutes ago, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, there's something else that went wrong with Mendoza.
Well, they kind of played with your emotions a little bit. They were like, he's been arrested for drunk driving and being belligerent. I was like, oh my God, is it Leo?
Right.
For a second,
I was
like, oh my God, no. So I'm glad they that it wasn't, obviously.
Right.
Nobody actually was drunk, and it all worked out. So
yeah, this was a really, really well written, compelling episode.
Yeah.
The interesting again that they opened with introducing characters, just having all the characters introduce themselves in the recap. It wasn't anything about story. It was just about who everyone was. And I'm wondering if this is when they thought people were jumping on the bandwagon of the show and like, let's give an introduction.
Sure.
For people who were coming on late. Because, remember, you couldn't stream this stuff in 2000. This was, rolling out on network.
Which episode is this? What's the number? 15?
15, yeah.
Or 14, I think, right?
No, this is 15.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're about a little more than halfway through the first season.
Yeah, we're good.
So they're probably due for that,
Right,
like
hey,
here's the characters.
The word is out. People like the show. You couldn't DVR it or anything back then, so you got to just jump on when you can jump on.
And as a self-contained episode, it worked really.
That's
well.
What I thought too. Like if this is my first episode, it was like this is compelling.
You get it all.
You get the whole story in there. Yeah.
So that's probably very common with network shows. Obviously, like you get to like HBO or whatever
sure
movie channel. Those are going to be a little more like linear.
Yeah, right. Serialized shows.
Yeah.
And this one, for the most part, is too. Like this and
Sopranos
kind of came out at the same time. It kind of created this serialized show.
But like I said, this show can stand if you have episodes about certain things.
Right, absolutely.
And it's not like a flowing narrative.
Absolutely.
So. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for being
Great
here
episode.
with us.
We're gonna, you know what? Because we're cramming, we're going to turn around in a second here and do the next one. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you.